I chose just regular potatoes, and these have a little bit of seasoning to it. Hey, my future saints, I'm Ellie. Welcome back to One World Saints, while we learn about the saints while discovering new flavors. How are you guys? Have you guys been doing a week from now already? I'm so happy to be back to you guys for another saint, another new message for us today. So, we are going to visit a saint that isn't necessarily so far away from us. This one's a little bit closer than the past ones. So this one is, you can almost say, in our backyard. So we're going to be talking about a saint that is in Canada. So very close by. Okay, so we chose our saint from Canada, and we are going for I consider it a very traditional dish. It is Poutine. I'm sorry if I butcher the name. Obviously, I'm not Canadian, but this is the recipe that it calls for. There is certain simple ingredients that you can find in your local grocery store. It's a very, very simple 3-ingredient dish. So it is cheese curds. This one is just regular cheddar cheese. I did see when I was shopping for this one, there was garlic cheese curds and other variations. So it's up to your own likeness what type of cheese curds you wish to have. I chose gravy. So I was a little lazy this time, and I bought the gravy, okay? Just don't say it to everyone, okay? But I did turkey gravy. If you wish to explore and try to make your own gravy, it's very simple ingredients. Just need, the basic would be any stock that you like. So you can do vegetable stock, you can do beef stock. I did this one is turkey stock, chicken stock, any that you wish. Or you can be like me and just buy the gravy, and ending off with some fries as well. Little disclaimer. I also purchased the potatoes, but if you have the time, if you have the energy, if you want to have a more personal, more rustic type of style of dish, then you can cut up your own type of potatoes. As we know, there's a wide variety. There is a wide variety of potatoes out there. You are more than welcome to do your own. I chose just regular potatoes, and these have a little bit of seasoning to it. The recipe doesn't really call for any type of seasoning on the potatoes as well besides salt, but I did have like a Cajun type of style. So this has a little twist, a little Elizabeth twist to it. All right, so we have our ingredients. We got a little close up on our ingredients, but we are back here in the front, ready to continue with the cooking. Okay, so I'm going to better say, put the fries to the oven for 430 degrees for about 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, gonna do a little quick toss and leave them in another 5 to 10 minutes until they're to a good like browning crispiness of the potatoes. Another thing that you can do is you can fry them as well. I'm gonna opt and not do that because it does tend to retain some oil in it, and I mean that's personal preference depending on how much healthy you want to be. So I'm gonna pop these into the oven, and we'll continue with our story. So the potatoes are in the oven, everything is ready. We're just gonna be waiting for the potatoes. You can heat up, if you're gonna do it your own gravy, that's wonderful that you're deciding to do that. It should be warm if you're gonna be like me and buy the own gravy. You could just heat it up in the microwave. I did mine in the stove, up to your own preference. But it should be hot so that it can give the cheese curds that melty flavor, that melty texture, better say. But without getting on to what we actually came here to learn about. So we're gonna be talking about a saint that's from Canada, correct? It is Saint Marguerite of Bourgeoys. She was actually born in France, but came to Canada. So that's where technically she grew up all her life there. So that's where we're gonna be made that she's mainly from there. They consider her from there. So she's from Canada, and she had a calling from a young age of 20 years old. She felt that a calling to be in the religious life. So she applied to different different orders. Like she applied for the Carmelites, for that's one of the ones that she had applied, and some other few ones, but they were denied. So what she decided to do, or what she saw that she was in need, was there was a lot of Native Americans there. So she decided to, give them a hand, because there was a lot of conflict that was going on in that time. So she decided to help them, and she felt the calling of helping the poor, which they were poor. They were very poor, as well as other people in that were around her area, very poor. So she felt that she had the calling to do such of that. But she was doing good, but she felt that she couldn't do it alone. That she needed to find other women that had that same calling. So she went back to France, and when she went to France, she brought 6 more women to help her in feeding the poor, help her in administrating any medical need that was needed in that area that she was living in Canada. So she actually established what is known now the Congregation of Notre Dame in Montreal, Canada. And with all these women, she was able to, because she was living in a place where there was Native Americans, she was actually picked up the language. She was able to communicate with others, and that helped her even more, because it helped to spread more. It wasn't just like, oh, I just know this certain language and that's all I can speak. No, but she was able to understand and learn the language that they were speaking, so that they can have better communication. But I mean, I'm just going ahead and just telling you this, and you may be thinking, oh, well, that was pretty simple. This is what she wanted. At first she struggled a bit, but she has the congregation. But the process to get there, it was very difficult, because we have it now. We talk about any religion or any idea, and we have so many people around us that aren't going to agree with us, that aren't going to, have the same look into a situation as we do. And so there was people around her, the same thing. There was religious people that were opposed to that. There was people in the government that were opposed to that. But she still was continuing to have that strive, to continue doing what she was doing, which was helping the poor, because that was in need. And I think that is just a great role model to follow. To especially young women, especially because sometimes we have all these things around us that are putting limits to us. That he says, no, you can only do such thing, or you can only go up to here, and that's it. And if people are preventing you from there, then maybe you should just drop it in. Because there was people who were telling her, no, you weren't accepted in these other in these other orders. Why are you going to continue? But on the contrary, that helped her to keep striving to do that. And she felt in her heart that calling. And I think that just calls, I feel, and hopefully what you take away from this is, if you feel the calling, if you have a calling to a specific order, and this can be for my boys as well, like, don't, obviously pray for it, always first pray for it, but don't let it just, leave it as a calling. Or if someone puts you down and tells you, no, you're gonna fail at it, or if you tried to and you got rejected from it, don't just stop there. I can only tell you so far of my experience in the religious life, but if we have that calling, if we feel we have that calling, or if you don't know what you're calling, research on that, pray about it, because we all have a calling. And she had her calling, and she was able to overcome everything that was around her and achieve that. And I know with the help of God, that will be able to be possible. If we continue striving and we continue praying, we will be able to accomplish what our mission in life is. So if you don't remember anything of what the video says, let's keep in mind, and what I want you to take from this is what we should see the saint as a pioneer. and continue striving, and gave us, in a sense, like the pathway to not give up. And things, yes, there will be rocks, pebbles, and things that are going to stumble us in our path to any religious order or any mission in life. But don't let that be the stop. Let's continue pushing and pushing, just like Marguerite did, in order to be able to fulfill God's promise in life. And what was remarkable is that even at her death of 69 years old, she accomplished so much. And I think that's what we have to see, that nothing stopped her. Nothing ever stopped her to continuing to do what was good. And I think that's the key for everything. Even if people are putting you down, if you know that it's good, continue striving to do your very best. Amen? Amen. Okay, so we are back. Our fries are out of the oven. And we learned about our saint, so let's get to assembling this dish. So you got your fries. I did a big bowl, but if you have your people that you're going to be serving, then you can have that with all the little bowls as well. But we're going to have the big bowl right here. So you're going to, it's very simple, assemble together, ready to eat. Okay, so you have your fries freshly hot, and you have your cheese curd that you're just going to put right on top. For that, as soon as it hits the hot fries, it will start to melt a bit. Okay, and this also depends on how much cheese you like. If you don't like that much cheese, but that's what it is. And finally, you just get your hot gravy, and you just drizzle it all on top. There you go. You just drizzle it all on the top. And that is your Poutine fries from our Saint Marguerite of Bourgeoys from Canada. Don't forget, let's continue praying for our religious orders, so that if that's our vocation, we can pursue it, and not let anything that's around us prevent us from achieving our vocation. As well, if you don't know what your vocation is, let's continue praying so that we may be able to find what is our mission in life. Once again, thank you guys for joining me in another episode. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you may think your vocation is. Let me know if you want to know what are different vocations. Let me know what is your favorite saint, and I'll catch you on the next one.